here of Shweiki Media Extended Learning, if you will. This is our internet university where we're going to spend some time together in various classes and sessions talking about the internet and the way magazine publishers can make some money. A topic of conversation. I work with publishers every day, and it is the #1 topic of conversation. What can we do with our to make more money? I've chosen 10 different websites approximately that we're going to work through. I want to take you, specifically to these websites to explore them when we're done as well. My thoughts and some of my concerns about these various sites. Most of these are not customers of mine. Some of them are, in order to point out those that are. Okay? It's really important for all of us to understand that we roll forward through classes like this, that this is just one guy's opinion, my opinion, and after 16 years of being married, I am very confident, that I'm not always right. So here we go. The first is an organization. It's an association with a magazine. They're called the Family Motor Coach Association. This actually is a customer of mine. I want to take a look at the very bottom of your screen. Okay, look at the very, very bottom of your web browser. And one of the things that they have utilized here as of late is this little bar. Does everybody see the little bar at the very bottom of the website? This actually comes free from a company that's called Wibia, W-I-B-I-Y-A. If you look at the very bottom of the screen, hopefully you can see it, and it's a pop-up at the very, very bottom. So what does the sharing bar do? Well, what it does is wherever someone is at on the website, so let's go ahead and just click on anything on the website, what's going to happen is this little bar is actually going to appear at the bottom of the screen. What that allows users to do, it allows them to either tweet the information from that page, it allows them to follow that information. Okay, it does a little pop-up here. See a little pop-up that says, "Welcome to the Family Motor Coach Association. Check out the new features on the toolbar below." It allows them to be able to watch videos from your YouTube channel, if this was your magazine publishing website. It also allows them to share these things and add them to their Facebook page. Now, a lot of you have on your website itself, in the articles, you actually have little icon buttons. If you don't, this is a really great way for you to be able to very quickly add social media sharing to each one of your articles. What does it mean and what does it do? What it means is that on this particular page, let's just say, for example, we're looking at this particular article. It allows you to be able to go down here to the Facebook icon. It allows you to be able to click that icon, and as long as we're logged in to our Facebook page, okay, it allows us to be able to share that story and then connect that particular reader with your particular YouTube or Facebook fan page or account. Now, you do have the icons built into the article. Typically, that may be enough, but this is a nice way to be able to kind of take this to the next level. Also, one of the things I want to share with you is, notice right here it's got this translate button. This translate is really cool. It allows you to take the page, and for example, let's go ahead and click Translate to Spanish. Okay, it allows someone to actually go and be able to translate portions of the page into Spanish, which basically then completely takes a new approach to your website and allows people to have a really international flavor and feel. Considering that the interface in this toolbar is really free of charge, this is really a great way to expand your audience beyond the United States for basically no charge. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind that when looking through, translations, typically translators are only about 40% accurate when you're using automated translation. Only about 40% accurate. So you really want to take that into account, when using these translation features, because if you really want to have an accurate translation of your website, you're going to need to have a human do that. It allows you to see the number of people that are also online and where they are, in the world. It allows you to be able to track recent posts. And then it also, if you click on this little icon over here, you can actually take the toolbar away, or you can actually bring it back. And so again, this is from a company, Wibia, W-I-B-I-Y-A, and free to you. Now, one thing I want to point out that's happening on their website that I really like is they've actually deployed a very cheap but very efficient live button. Now, you might say to yourself, okay, as a magazine publisher, why is that important? Well, if you people coming to your website for information, you want them to have the easiest and absolutely best experience possible. So what happens if you go and you click on Live Help, what it's going to do is pop open another window and it's going to allow you to log in. Now, this is served up through a company called ultimateliveChat.com. And I have to know that the folks there are really good to be able to work with. If someone's looking for a story, let's just say they're looking for advertising information, that they're looking to subscribe to your magazine. These type of live chat help devices and software that are on the website make it really, really great for you to be able to give a little bit of a better window of opportunity for people looking for help on your website. This particular Ultimate Live Chat, I think, runs maybe $39 a month if you get their top tier package. Something really cool has happened on this website. You'll notice that it continues to be translated in Spanish, which is really, really cool. So out of this seminar today, maybe you've now discovered a really quick and easy way to offer Spanish, German, English. I mean, look at the number of countries you can translate this into. Just remember, keep in mind that as you do this translation, it's highly likely that the translation will only be about 40% accurate. There, I changed it over to the Japanese. Is that not cool? Is that not one of the coolest things that you have seen today? All right? I think it's outstanding. So, again, that is fmca.com. So let's go ahead and close that tab, and let's move on to our this is a newspaper, and they're in San Diego. You might say to yourself, well, Ryan, they're in San Diego, so that means that they're a pretty wealthy operation, and I don't have the funds they have. Here's the thing to remember about it, guys. The web is the great equalizer. So that allows you to be just as powerful as other newspapers and websites. Now, what I'm going to do is critique the overall design of the website because I think that there essentially are a few issues with how crowded the design is. One thing I wanted to point out was the ad placement on this page. Things that we have seen over the course of the last 6 months to the last year is that everybody places their ads on the top and in the right rail. One of the things I've noticed is when you actually add advertising placements within content, especially good ads like this one here that are relevant and topical, you're really going to see an increase of anywhere from 0.5% to 0.25% for that particular customer. Something that average click-through rate is 0.25. Now, that's not 25%. That's 0.25, okay? So that's 0.25%. So in the niche publishing space, you're able to have a website that's generating 0.45, 0.55, 0.75% click-through rates. Then you have a really great thing on your hands. Now, keep in mind that we really have to look at ad placements very carefully because a lot of you have ethical considerations on your websites, and so what you don't want to have happen is you don't want mixing content with advertising, sort of in an unethical way, if that is the case. Let me give you an example of that. Sometimes publishers don't want to have an article that relates directly to the ad that's next to it. I happen to think personally that's a really great idea, okay? But a lot of folks don't like to do that. Another thing is that I like on this page is you'll notice that they have business news right here, okay? Here happens to be a little snippet, and they've got this small little ad that's running right above it. And I think that's really, really a great opportunity for advertisers to be engaged with content. So this is business news, and that's trying to reach those business news individuals. Notice they've got a few of those throughout the page. Here's some smaller ads, some sponsored ads. One of the things I want to caution you about smaller ads is typically smaller ads are just as hard to sell as big ads. And the smaller ads actually cost less money. So what you want to do is make sure that you don't spend so much time on the smaller ads that you could be spending on the bigger advertisers. As you scroll down the page, you'll notice that they've got some of the standard interactive advertising bureau standard sizes. But more than anything, what I'd like to point out, scraper here on the left, is that they've got a lot of ad zones, a lot of ad units. And folks in the magazine space have 4 or 5. In this particular case, they have about 16 ad zones. Now, you might say to me, well, Ryan, I don't like it because it might junk the page up a little bit. You are correct. I think that there's a tipping point if you will. Be careful about the number of ads you place on your page. If your page begins to look like a jumbled mess, then it's too many. So how do you know? How do you know when too many ads are too much? You'll know when you see it. That's the best thing I can say to you. You'll know it when you see it. It's sort of like bad ad creative. It's kind of fine, but you know it when you see it, okay? And in this particular case, I'm not judging the design of the site. I'm merely trying to point out that they've got a bunch of really cool different ad sizes woven into their content effort to give their advertisers great placement and give themselves a lot more ad units to sell. All right, from San Diego, so that is, the website there is SDDT. So that's Sierra Delta Delta Tango, okay? SDDT.com. All right, from San Diego, let's go to Santa Fe, the Santa Fe Reporter. Now, there's a lot of things on this website that I like. One of the first things I want to point out is at the top of the page here is Google+. Now, what does Google+ do? Well, Google+, there's a couple ways to think of this. One, it can link up with your Google account, help you track websites, articles, etc. that you like. So the things that you may want to make available to your web use. The other thing is this particular button, when clicked, helps improve your website's ranking on the search. Now, a lot of folks say, Ryan, how can you emphatically say that? I can say that because based on my experience, it does. You'll notice as you peruse Google, okay, and so what we may do, let me do this real quick. Let me type into Google, let me type in Santa Fe Reporter, and I'll show you what this looks like on Google itself, okay? Well, for whatever reason, it's not popping up. Usually, right here next to the website, there will be a Google Plus icon, or there'll be something related to that, right to the right. So as you begin seeing that, you'll know what I'm talking about. This button on the top of their website and the search engine ranking and results are directly linked. So basically what you're doing is you're tracking your own activity, and for lack of a better term or example, you're actually kind of giving them a thumbs up to Google. Okay? And you can also then go in and do rankings, ratings, critiques, reviews, et cetera, et cetera. So I would encourage all of you to look into Google Plus and encourage you to incorporate that into the content on your website. Let's look at things that I think are really neat on this website that I think will help drive traffic, create some revenue for you. The thing is, you'll notice that their menu items across the top are very short, very sweet, very to the point. You'll also notice when you mouse across these, then it's going to give you subdirectories below. This is a concept as opposed to the drop-down menus. It also makes the navigation very clean and easy to read. I'd love to point that out to you. The second thing, this is right here this week's Santa Fe Reporter Picks. And what I like about this is I like the fact that each day they're picking neat new articles that are on their website. Now, using Joomla, you're using Drupal, or WordPress, these type of modules, plugins, or sprockets actually exist to help you pick content and events and help you be able to really highlight those on your main page. So this right here, these are events that they're picking and also some articles that relate to those events. Let's share this with you. Event publicity on your website is one of the highest ranked ways to bring traffic back to your website. Okay? Another thing I wanted to point out on this site is I wanted to point out how they've incorporated their Twitter feed into the website. One of the reasons that I like to do this on a lot of websites is I want people to see that there's activity. So no matter what content management system you're using, there's a way to incorporate your Twitter feed or your Facebook feed into it, and it lets people really participate in the conversation. Now, one of the criticisms that I would make of, for example, this advertising unit is that it's so far down the page, I don't think a lot of people are going to want it. Now, I'm hoping that folks are going to buy this ad spot because I want this customer to do well. But if I was advising this client, I would definitely suggest that 300 by 250 really needs to at least be here, to take a higher priority on this particular website. Now, you'll also notice they've got their 728 by 90 here at the top, and I think that for the time being, what I have determined is that really allows people to very much be able to sell that space, and it's one of the best sold spaces that there is on the web. All right, so from Santa Fe, let's go to Colorado Springs. Here's the Colorado Springs Independence magazine. I'm going to share things with you that I like about the website. First of all, I want to scroll down the page, and I want to show you something I think is really neat on how they're highlighting their columnists. Now, within your publications, you have various columns, blogs, etc. What I want you to do is think about better ways that you can highlight these. I think that each one of these is kind of a neat little icon to be able to drive people deeper into the columns. Each one of the columns, like for example, the Advice Goddess. I think that's kind of catchy and kind of neat. Here's Ranger Rich. Here's the Stranger Than Fiction column. So there's really neat ways to be able to highlight these columns. One thing I caution you is that you'll notice you can get to these columns from the top. This is definitely not as sexy as what you just saw on the bottom. I think you would all agree. Down towards the bottom as a publisher, I think if you columns, I mean, they're just a lot more iconic. They're a lot more eye-catching, and I'd actually probably move those, a little bit closer. Excuse me, a little bit closer to the top. What I consider for 2012, if you haven't implemented this on your website already, is reader reviews. One of the things that happens when things go viral on the web is you see an uptick in web traffic. I want to encourage you to welcome reader reviews of articles. I want you to prepare your editorial team that they are going to get some negative reviews now and again. It is what it is, guys. I mean, negativity is part of the world we live in. It's all how you deal with it that makes all the difference in the world. So everybody to develop, kind of a thick skin about it. Got some really nice smaller ads along the right side. I like this sizing, for a couple reasons. One, I think it's a value type situation if you can't sell it. I also think it gives a lot of impressions to a lot of people. I caution you on this ad size, though, because like I said before, some of these smaller ads is often just as hard as selling some of the bigger ad units, on your page. If I was consulting with this publisher, a couple of things that I would point out. One, I really think they need a 300 by 250, at least somewhere here on the page as a sellable entity. I'd probably redesign the masthead the way that it looks so that their logo is slightly smaller to give this ad a little bit more deference on the page so it kind of stands out, a little bit better. To applaud them for utilizing a lot of space up here with this 728 by 90, as well as this maybe like it's a 190 by 90. A lot of times, I want to share something with you, a lot of times this space in the top right is actually used for internal publicity and promotion. A conference called Cirque Day LA was basically one of the largest gatherings on the West Coast for circulation directors. What I heard in almost every session is that these particular spaces here were really mission critical to driving subscriptions. So I really want to encourage you to look into utilizing space like this for subscription offers. Go from Colorado Springs over to Dallas and take a look at the Dallas Observer. Okay, there's a thing that I want to point out. One, notice that there's a little bit of what's referred to as an exclusive or a roadblock at the top of the website. You notice they've separated the 728 by 90 into two ad units, and they're the exact same ad. Now, a lot of you might look at that and say, I don't like it. I don't like the way that it looks. There's a couple observations here for the Dallas Observer. One, if it works, I say use it. If it doesn't work, I think you need to change your planning. If you're finding that 28 by 90s are getting harder to sell, a lot of times people are just looking for things that are very creative, things that are different. And so separating, especially if you're on an alternative website, meaning like an alternative news website like this one, or if your magazine is a city and regional mag, like a lot of you that are on the call, you can do things that are clever and that are different. Now, when I refresh this page, I'm actually going to get a different ad, in each spot. So you refer to in my business as an exclusive. I like it because it really gives a lot of bang for the advertiser's buck. Here on the left, on the right side of the screen, you'll notice there's background ads or ads that are in the margin. Okay, they're not original ads; they just happen to be in the margin itself. A lot of advertisers today, folks, are not looking to make an ad buy. They're sitting around on their phone saying, oh, I can't wait for, Dan or Steve or whoever to call me and sell me an ad. They just aren't doing that. They're actually tired of advertising. Advertising is sort of one of those dirty words, if you will, one of those words that people cringe at these days. What they're looking for is really unique and new marketing opportunities. So I encourage you to work with, somebody like myself or another consultant that can help you figure out ways to implement new and creative advertising in the side columns. Now, I'll caution you, let me give you a caveat to that. Are the ads that are in the columns going to get just huge, monstrous click-through rates? No, not necessarily. If you have folks that are really looking for branding, it's really a great way. I have found the click-through rates on these, on the right and the left and the margins, to be fairly small, but overall the branding impact has been pretty darn good. Now you'll notice here on their 300 by 250, at least it's seen above the fold, so I think that's going to really work, to their advantage. The other thing I want to point out for you is I want to point out these deals. So I know a lot of you are city and regional magazines. Some are national publications. That's great. With the onset, or the popularity rather, of Groupon and group discounts and group deals, there's a real nexus right now and a real perpetuation of this activity on websites. Many of you have called and asked, okay, what is it? What can we do in order to implement this on our website? Well, I've come across a company. Let me take you over to the Missouri Life website. Okay, this is Missouri Life, and obviously in Missouri. This is a website that is published by using a software company called Metro Publisher, a very affordable publishing platform, by the way. And daily deals that you see on the left, these are actually done by a company, by a piece of software. And the company is called Delicio. So it's Deal, Delicio. So it's DEALIO. And I happened to have met one of the founders, a great guy. His name is Graham, last week, and really got a really quality understanding of what their product, is all about. And what they help you do, what their software does, by the way, it's extremely affordable. What the software helps you do is it actually helps you place daily deals on the website in a very, very quick and easy way. Now, some websites are making $300, $400, $500. We actually have some reports through Delicio of deals, upwards of $4,000 that are happening for publishers. What I'm going to do in one of our next sessions, let's get Graham from Delicio on the call with me, and I really want to talk through these daily deals and what you can do to actually make money using his product. And there's many other products out there. I just happen to have this one as top of mind because I like to point you in directions of people that I know, offer really great products with quality customer service, United States-based companies that are really great to help you. So let's take a look here at Missouri Life. Missouri Life is a customer of mine. They're a great company in Missouri, and they've done so many really great things with their Metro Publisher-driven website. You notice that they're using this top right space for subscriptions, and they've seen a really good surge, because of that. Standard 728 by 90, okay? I like the fact they've got this 300 by 250, top of mind. One of the things to really notice and point out to you is the great use of imagery on this website. A lot of you magazines that focus in on the food industry, events industry within your town, cities, or state. And imagery is so very important. So you really want to make an effort to make sure you have really quality, really nice imagery on your website. We've noticed that you can really drive some incredible traffic with some really great imagery. You'll notice that then they've got their deals here, okay? There's another ad unit here that's, right in this column. Also that they've noticed they've incorporated their tweets into our website design. We've got a nice grouping of photos here. It goes in, a content management system like Metro Publisher to help them create a website that allows them to, have some easy navigation, real easy ability to update their website as well. So you see they got their Facebook and Twitter icons at the top of every page. I think that's great. And another thing I want to encourage you about this design is they actually have Google search. It's a part of the website. You right now we're deploying search engine I'm sorry, not search engine, but search function in your website, and the only thing it does is search your website. When you use Google's ability to search your website, it basically shows Google what people are doing on the website, and it helps you a lot with your rankings. I've actually deployed the Google search function on a lot of websites and seen their rankings climb just 10 spots. Now, let me give you a caveat. I always do that, don't I? Let me give you a caveat. You're not going to go from like 10 to number 1 just by adding Google search box to your website. But I have found that it helps dramatically. Also, what it does is it really helps Google see what people are searching for. Website, and this is a website for a company. It's a magazine called Stack, S-T-A-C-K, and their primary focus is high school athletics. Now, what I wanted to share this with you for is because I really want you to see what they've done to incorporate their video content right on their main page. Now, when you look at this, you might think that it looks just like a normal article, but this is actually video content that they did, and here's the sponsor of the video content to the right. Now, do this with a YouTube interface? Absolutely. You can use things like Brightcove. You can use like Multicast Media. There's so many other devices that you can use or companies you can use to incorporate video onto your main page. I happen to know the founder of Stack, and I can share this with you, that video has absolutely revolutionized their business. It's changed the amount of money that they're making, as much as 10 to 20-fold. I happen to know the sales manager there. Everything they do has got a video component to it, and they're having really, really great success. So as a middle-range publisher, I say mid-range, meaning that you might be doing serving, say, 30 to 40, 50,000 circulation. Maybe you're doing somewhere between $3 to $4 million in revenue. In that, you have the capacity very easily to bring in camera crews very affordably for around $300 or $400 a day, shoot between 7 to 10 videos a day, and have enough videos for several months. And so I really encourage you to either reach out to me or to others in the industry and ask how that can happen. Video content is so well received, and it's really not hard to create. It makes it hard to create when you try to do it yourself. See, sometimes people take on DIY projects thinking that it's really easy. And once they get into it, they call me and they say, oh, man, I've gotten in, Ryan. I just really don't know what to do to make this work. What I'd like to encourage you to do is kind of plan in advance, talk through some scenarios, but this is a great example of them using video content on their front page along with advertising to drive revenue. Let's take a website from Louisville, Kentucky. I'll share a couple things with you about this website. Oh, by the way, that last website was just stack.com, STACA.com. Life is quite simply Missouri Life. And then the Dallas Observer is just DallasObserver.com. Now, what I like about this publication website is a lot to incorporate video, and emphasize the fact that they are a publication. Now, the only criticism, if I had criticism of this front page design, is that what I have found is that these particular skyscraper ads have lost a lot of appeal to agencies and to advertisers. Why is that? This ad size is, of 160 or whatever it is, by 600, 190 by 600, is really hard to design for. A lot of folks have really lost their luster, if you will, for this ad size. It's kind of hard to sell. Notice here that they've went ahead and placed a YouTube video on their main page. One of the things I like about placing my videos with YouTube is the SEO ramifications of doing that. I really love SEO as a part of my enterprise because we all know that YouTube and Google are attached at the hip. So that really means that anything you do on YouTube is going to have an impact on Google as well. They've got basically a 300 by 250 ad here, right underneath of the video content. Why is that important? Well, it's important because if people are looking at the video, it's highly likely they're going to see this advertisement. A couple things that I really like. I like, these nice little icons here for special issues that bounce across them, really grab people's attention. You notice that it's the visuals more than the text that kind of draws your eye down icons. The eyes that are here, sort of the rust color, the purple that stands out. And across them, it changes colors. I really want to encourage you to look into some sort of non-traditional ways, you'll notice here, of being able to bring people down deeper, into your content. Notice at the very top, this red eye, which totally stands out, or this brown eye in a red box, really stands out. This is daily staff picks. And what you find when you look at pages like this is that people really like staff recommendations. They really like it when you choose things to help them out. What was proven at Esther, although they've shut down almost all of their retail stores, was that when the staff would make picks, people would tend to rent those videos more often. And because it's basically like a recommendation. So if you don't do any daily staff picks, I think that would be, a really cool thing for you to do. Notice then that they've got, ads that are here right next to the content rather than being way over in the right rail. And you'll notice that a lot of Google ads are actually being served on this website. A caveat or a caution for you on that. Really gauge it and watch it carefully. Are the ads that are being served making your content look better, making you look better? I really want you to pay, distinct, attention to that. Take a look at a couple more websites. By the way, that is Leo, L-E-O, weekly.com. L-E-O, so it's Lima, Echo, Oscar, weekly.com. Let's take a look at a big national website. This is the Daily Beast. This is obviously a huge national play. There's a couple of things that they do on this website that I actually really like a lot. And their use of color is absolutely, tremendous. I love their use of color. Notice that as you mouse across things, they change colors from red. The clean, simple lines of this design are really outstanding. CMS that you deploy, you'll be able to utilize this. One of the things I want to point out is this cheat sheet, must-reads from all over. This goes back to that concept that I was talking about, where you actually have your staff pick articles that they're featuring on the main page. It's in red or orange, depending upon your monitor and how you're looking at it. But what you're going to notice is when you do staff picks like this, it's really going to begin to drive up traffic. People really, really like it a lot. Now, would I design it in exactly this way where it goes down the middle of the page? Maybe not. From a design perspective, I don't necessarily love that, but I do like the fact that they're numbered. I like the fact it's kind of neat, called the cheat sheet or staff picks. And so I really like the way that this is presented exactly in red down the middle. Maybe you could move it rail. Maybe you could move it over here underneath something. Maybe you could stack it differently. But it just overall, the concept I want to share with you today is staff picks, really work well. So if you want to, check that out, then obviously what you're going to do is you go over to the Daily Beast, thedailybeast.com. All right, as we wrap up today, let me take you over to a website that I really like, and this is a magazine in Louisiana, and they're called Country Roads, and this is a customer of mine, and I really like the way that they have their ad units laid out. One of the things I really want to point out to you is that the ad units are distinct and clear on the top, and you notice the right side. These ad units are just so distinct and clear that they just really stand out. Now, one of the things that they did that I thought is just absolutely great is they've actually taken an ad unit and incorporated it here in this position. This is very non-traditional. We've only seen it a couple of times today. Well, this is really a neat ad unit that's going to get a lot of really good play. I urge you to go take a look at their website because a lot of their ad design is just really, really top-notch. It's clean. It's straightforward. It's simple. Look at this ad as it rotates through. This is a very good ad. It talks about visiting the new location. The color is really sweet and precise. It's got a border around it. I would imagine that this has a very decent click-through rate, maybe greater than 0.25. As a matter of fact, I will call them and find out and report back to you on that. You'll note that there's a lot of white space around the calendar of events. I love it because it makes the calendar stand out more. Now, if they had their druthers, they'd make this calendar slightly bigger. But I love the fact that it really stands out. You can see it very perfectly. Look at the fact here's their Twitter conversation happening over here in the right rail. It makes it look, very active and something really, really important for all of you publishers to accurately embrace. And at the bottom, they repeated that 728 by $9.90. Probably don't sell it at the bottom, but it's a great bonus for your advertisers overall. It's really important as we roll through these websites today for you to understand that there's so many differentiating factors, for these websites. I want you to, spend some time on the sites that we pointed out today and really understand that there's some really great things that you can do to your publication website that are fairly simple, that are straightforward, that make all the difference in the world. Your ability to generate greater traffic and to get better click-through rates are so evident here on other websites. I'd love for you to spend some time on some of the magazines that I work with and some magazines that we've talked about today and really see what it is that you can glean from other peers within your industry. Well, really thank you so much for spending some time with us today. Remember, as a Shweiki customer, you are entitled to 25% discounts on the services we offer here at Brainswell Media. Please reach out to me for that. Personally, I'd like to thank you on behalf of Gall and Steve and Dave and all the folks at Shweiki Media. Thank you so much for being a part of these classes and for being a customer of Shweiki. We're here to help you. We want to help you make money, and we make sure overall that your business grows. Good luck as we roll towards the end of the year, and best of luck as we roll into next year as well. If it can be of help, please reach out to me. Take care and have a great day.